Hello everyone, welcome to the next lesson. So today we are going to learn about very important rule of chess, which is castling. Okay. Before we are going to learn about castling, we will learn the previous lesson. Okay. We will revise the previous lesson, which is about checkmate. Okay. So as you know, checkmate is basically when the king is swept from all direction is called checkmate. So here, you are playing with the white pieces. How can you checkmate the black king in one move? Try to pause the video and try to think and get the answer. Okay, great. I am telling the answer now. I hope you got the answer. The answer is basically queen e7 checkmate. And there is one more answer which is queen to a8 checkmate as well. Okay, so these are the two checkmates. As you can see, when the queen is giving check to the king cannot move anywhere as all these square are controlled by the king. Okay, that's why that's a checkmate. Great. Let's you are playing with the white pieces. Checkmate the black king in one move. Okay, I hope you got the answer. So if you have not found, please pause the video and try to get answer. Okay. Okay, so the answer is queen f7. Checkmate. White to play. Again, checkmate the black king. What will you do here? Yes, the answer is knight to f6. Checkmate. You can see the king cannot capture the bishop because the rook is supporting it, and this knight is giving check. So it's a checkmate. Okay. Again, you are playing with the black pieces. Checkmate the white king in one move. Okay, I hope you got the answer. Answer here is again. Okay, this is a little tricky, but you will get the answer. Answer is here queen h2. Checkmate. Okay, you might be wondering what happens if the bishop capture the queen. Is it really possible for the bishop to capture the queen? Think no, it's not possible. Okay, if the bishop capture the queen, what will happen is the rook will capture the king. That's why. Okay, and so this itself is a checkmate. Okay, great. Okay, this is black to play. Checkmate the white king in two move. Okay, you are playing with the black pieces. This time there is not one move answer, it's two move answer. Okay, so black will play the first move, white will reply, and then black will do checkmate in the next move. Okay, try to think. You can see this rook is controlling all this square, all this, all these squares of the king. So only you need to give check in this square. So of course, the one who moves diagonal can only give check. That means this bishop can give check. And how can this bishop give check? Yes, you can simply push the pawn forward. Okay, it's an excellent move. Now the bishop has to go here, and now you can do checkmate. Great. So you can see now this is a checkmate, and white king cannot move anywhere. Okay, great. Okay, now coming to the today's topic, which is about castling. Okay, so castling is a special move in chess. Okay, where you are moving the king two steps. So as you know, king can only move one step, right? So castling is a special move in chess where you are allowed to move the king two steps and the rook also to also you can move the rook also. For example, here you can just move this king over here and this rook over here. So this is called castling. Okay. Similarly, black can do castling. Okay. You are only allowed to do castling once only in a game. Okay, so and this is called short castling. As you can see, the king distance between the king and rook has only two squares. This is called short castling. Similarly, you can do castling this side as well. Okay, when you do this side castling, it's called long castling. You can because the distance between the king and rook are of three squares. Okay, so this is called long castling. This is called short castling, or you can say okay the king side castling. So as you can see, the chessboard is divided by three parts. Okay, one part and then the second part. Okay, this green one is called queen side, and this king is called king side. Okay, so when we do castling this side, this is called queen side castling, or when we do castling this side, we call it king side castling. Okay, and castling is very important in chess. Why? Because when you do castling, your king is very safe at the corner of the board. Okay, we will know more about this in the upcoming sessions. For now, just remember there is a special move where you can move the king two steps and rook also. Okay, great. Similarly, okay, here you can also do long castling as I was saying. So this is called long castling and this is called short castling. Okay, now here is a question for you. Okay, so after moving the white pieces, so to do castling, you need to develop your knight, develop your bishop. Okay, and here you can see black has done short castling and white has done what castling? Long castling. Good. Okay, now tell me which side can white do castling? Is it possible for white to do castling? Answer is yes. White can do short castling or black can do also long castling. Okay, next question. Which side can white do castling now? Take your time, think, and tell me. Is it possible for white to do castling? So, of course, answer is no. White cannot do either side castling. As you can see, white cannot do long castling as the queen is in between, and white cannot do short castling because this knight is there. To do castling, you can first remove the knight, remove the queen, and now you can do long castling or short castling. Okay. Okay. Now we will see some conditions. Now I hope you understand about castling. Okay, what is castling and how you can do. Now we will see conditions of castling. Okay, when what are the conditions that you cannot do castling? Okay, so this is our first condition. When the king is in check. So as we can see, this bishop is giving check to the king. So it's not possible for the king to do castling. Okay, you can see the king can only move one step or two steps just to save himself. Okay, so this is the first condition. So if you want to do castling, you can first block this check. Okay, and now you can do castling. But remember one thing, you cannot do castling when king is in check. This is the first condition of castling. Again, here the castling is not possible. As you can see, this rook is giving check to the king. Now, here is question for you. Can black do castling here? Take your time and think. Again, the answer is no. As you can see, this white queen is giving check to the black king. So it's not possible to do castling. Okay, now we are moving on to next condition. Our second. Okay, I hope the first condition is clear. Castle cannot happen when the king is under attack, when the king is under check. Now the second condition. Second condition says the second condition says is that the king cannot move through any square that is currently being under attack. What does it mean? So you see this bishop is controlling this f1 square, right? So you cannot go through the check. You can see when you go here, now this bishop is in between, right? So you cannot go through the checks. So still here you cannot do castling, okay? Because this bishop is blocking the path between the king and the rook. So to do castling, you can just stop this bishop to control this square. How will you stop it? Yes, by pushing the pawn forward. When you push the pawn forward, now you can see the bishop is not blocking anymore, and now you can just do castling. Understood? So this is the second conditions of how you cannot do castling. Now let's see here this example. Can black do castling now? So again, answer is no. You can see the king is not under check, but this knight is controlling this square. So you cannot do castling here. Okay, can you do long castling or can you do short castling here? What castling can you do here? Which side? So I hope you got the answer. Answer is you can only do short castling, not long castling. As you can see, the itself the king will be in check, and we cannot expose our king in check. Okay, now tell me, can white do castling either side, either long or short? Take your time and tell me. Again, the answer is no. You can see this queen is controlling this d1 square and this rook is controlling the f1 square. So either side, if you go, it will be through the check. And second condition says you cannot move the king through the check. You cannot do castle. Okay. So this is it, our second condition. Okay. And again, see the knight is controlling this square, so you can not do long castling, but you can do short castling. Okay. Now a third condition, which says both the king and the rook must not have moved at any point earlier in the game. Okay, so you can see here the king has moved from its initial position, so you cannot do castling. Even if you go back, okay, even if you go back, let's suppose, okay, the black cannot, black has moved. Okay, now even if the king moved, still you cannot do castling here because the king has moved. Okay, once the king moved, you lost your castling right. Okay, same goes for the rook. Okay, you see the rook has just moved from g8 to h8. So in this position, you cannot do castling as the rook has moved. Okay, if you want to do, you can do long castling. Okay, if you get the chance, you can do long castling, but you cannot do short castling. Okay, great. I hope the castling is clear now. Why we do castling? We do castling to safeguard our king. And what are the three conditions of castling? You cannot do castle when the king is in check. You cannot do castle when opponent piece is blocking the path between the king and rook. And the third condition says you cannot do castle when the king or rook has moved earlier into the game. Okay. Now coming back to the next topic, which is about promotion. Okay, so promotion is very simple. When the pawn reaches all the way to the last rank, it can turn into any pieces that you want. Okay. For example, you can make queen, knight, rook, bishop, whatever piece you want, except for the king, of course. Okay, so you can see you can make queen as queen is the most powerful piece. Same goes for the black. If black reaches all the way to the last rank, it can turn into queen, knight, rook, bishop. Okay. Okay, now here is a question for you. It's black to play. How can you win in one move? Answer is very simple. You can just promote to queen or rook. It will be checkmate. Okay. These two rooks are controlling the ranks of the king, and this is a checkmate. Okay, great. That's it for today about castling and promotion. Okay. I hope you understand, and I will see you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.